I've been on US Mobile's Dark Star promotional plan that has the uncapped data, and you know what? The performance has been amazing, but is it worth the inconsistency that comes with US Mobile's policies? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, I've been on US Mobile for almost a full month. I'm about to wrap it up, the first full month now, and I've had experience with it. And I'm going to be honest with you, tell you all about the data performance first. And there is some controversy that surrounded the launch of this plan. So we'll get into that as well. But for the most part, it is a pretty cool plan, in my opinion, even after all the controversy. But we're going to talk about the data first, and then we're going to go into, some of the things that I feel are kind of weird and some of the things that I've noticed as being a US Mobile customer. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And just a heads up, there is an affiliate link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. If you do want to help out the channel, you can click on that link. It'll take you right over to US Mobile and you can start saving some money as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So what is this plan that US Mobile is offering? So it is a promotional plan. That means it's not going to be around forever, but you do have unlimited, uncapped data when it comes to download, and it is priority. It's QCI 8 and you'll always have good service. Your data won't slow down based on how many people are utilizing the service. Now when it comes down to the hotspot, which they also offer, the way it works is in a tiered system. So the first 100 gigabytes of data is high speed and is fully unthrottled. The next 100 gigabytes of speed is at 8 Mbps down. After that, all the data continues to go, but it's at 600 kilobytes down. Now that's a little bit slow in my opinion, but you know what? You get a good amount of data for 200 gigabytes. I mean, that's enough for you to really do most of the things that you can do on the internet. It's not going to be unlimited like the first 100 gigabytes, but it's still a lot of data that you can hotspot. You also do get the perks that you get with the other services. You get up to 20 gigabytes of data, of international data in 49 different countries, and you get free eSIM or network transfers. So let's talk about the data. So what has it been like from a day-to-day basis? Well, it's actually been really good. There was not at one point in time where I felt like I had compromised data. I do have priority data, it's at QCI 8, so they're gonna carve out a lane for me to make sure that I have good data. And I had it in San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas, and also in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida. I gotta give up props where props is due. The data felt amazing. There was not at one point in time where I felt like I was really at a compromise ever. And that I can't say that for every other mobile carrier that I've ever experienced. I was able to stream 4K videos all the time, never really any buffering or anything like that. And I took it to multiple locations. It was good indoors, outdoors, never really had any issue. Now, there are some times where I do conduct speed tests just to test out the data. And you know what? One thing I did notice though is that the speed tests sometimes were really inconsistent. I actually tested a speed test right here in this, my apartment. And then I tested it back maybe like a couple hours later, same place. And the performance was a lot slower. It's still good, but it was just slower, a lot slower than I got the previous time. I did go in airplane mode, took it off airplane mode, and for some reason it just was a lot lower. Now I didn't expect that because it's priority data, so I expected just always to be kind of at the top. And also, it's not like I was traveling around and moving to a different spot. The only thing that really would have changed in my area was possibly the amount of people that were home using the internet or using their data at the time. So it was a little bit awkward, but I still had enough data to support whatever I wanted to do. And in fact, I've actually had most of the month on the data. I didn't even turn on my Wi-Fi for most of the time. I did sometimes, but that was just for battery saving methods. Now, when it comes to hotspot, it actually does work pretty cool. They did initially launch a plan where it was unlimited hotspot, no speed caps, and then they changed it down to the tiered system. They also had a lot of conditions for the service, and you know what, to be honest with you, when I was using the service, I was actually a little bit nervous because there were so many conditions at the beginning of when the plan initially launched. I couldn't stream it to a TV, I couldn't stream it to a PC. There's just things that I couldn't do. And in fact, when I was on the way to Houston, someone wanted to kind of use my hotspot data with their laptop, and I was like, nah, I can't. Like, I'm gonna get canceled, right? The way that it works today, and they have updated the terms, is that I can't find those restrictions anymore. It seems like they're allowing it to actually, be utilized however you want to utilize it, just with that tear down speed. But you can connect to multiple devices. And in fact, I actually tested this. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So hey guys, I actually have my US Mobile line right here. You can see that it's running on US Mobile, and I actually have my hotspot available, and I actually have 5G plus connected right now. Now, one thing you can definitely tell right here is that, well, it has three devices actually connected to it. It has my Galaxy Tab S9, my iPhone, and also this other device that I had just laying around. And I basically just wanted to, kind of see how well the data performed when it's connected to multiple devices. So I already think it's a win over some other carriers like Visible that only allows you to connect to one device. But now we're gonna take a look at basically how the data is performed. So we're just gonna perform, and I'm gonna give a speed test. I'm trying to get these to go at the same time. Three, two, well, before I do that, let's actually show you that the network name is Everton's S25 Plus. Let's take a look here. Connected to Everton's S25 Plus, Everton's S25 Plus, Everton's S25 Plus. So we're connected to the same network in all three of them. And now we're gonna go ahead and start that speed test. I'm trying to get them to go at the closest possible to the same time. Okay. So the lowest, I guess, modem phone actually has the 110 right now. This one has 120. This one has 27 megabits per second. So let's see what it's. So okay, so this one has finished at 112. This one finished at 42.3 down, and this one was 135 down, which is serviceable for all. And upload is 16.9 with a Celeron, iPhone 4.36, and then we have the upload at 11.5. Just wanted to give that kind of overview of like what kind of speed you can expect. So yeah, so I do see the reason for why you would want to have so much speed for on throttle data, at least for the first 100 gigabytes. You can use it on multiple devices, and the first 100 gigabytes, like I said, is on throttled. So let's address the drama of the launch of this, because I feel like I'd do an injustice if I didn't speak about this. So when US Mobile launched this plan, everything was mostly the same except for the fact of how they handle the hotspot data. The hotspot data is now teared down, and a lot of people are upset with that because they felt like they could get unlimited data. It was kind of a free-for-all, and now it's not that at all. There are restrictions put in place. Also, other restrictions that they had in place before have been removed. So how do I feel about that? Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't like the fact of how inconsistent they are with their plan. Now, I believe that a company should be able to change their policies and give proper notifications to their users and customer base because it is a company and they need to be financially successful while delivering a good product. But the frequency in which US Mobile does update and change their terms is bothersome to me because it can impact people that, well, essentially have left other carriers maybe really great deals that they had to come over here to now not get their, now lose their plan, or you lose your grandfather plan, or whatever the sweet deal they had, to have their situation kind of switch. Giving their money back is, it's a hey, great start, but man, some people lost really good promotions. When you go on US Mobile's website, their terms and services were updated the day before I actually made this video, which is ridiculous to me because when you go to another company like Visible and you look at their terms and services, they updated their services like close to a year ago. Now, I just don't understand the frequency that they need to update their services. It's just too frequent and it does impact how you use the service. A company of this size should have better foresight to implementing a long-term plan that's consistent. I just don't like how frequent things can change. And you know what? It does impact what people have purchased. So, I mean, there's that. But how do I feel about the service altogether? Even in its current state today, even though things may change, who knows when, I still do feel like they're trying to give a really good plan. It is a promotional plan, but I still feel like it's beating a lot of other companies out there. For me personally, I could never see myself getting even to that 100 gigabyte data plan, but I do see how other people can. So at the end of the day, I do think it's still a good plan. So I want to talk about call quality for a little bit. So call quality was great. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it was crystal clear. I had coverage everywhere, and I felt like, I didn't really have any issues with anybody telling me that they couldn't hear me, no delays in calls or anything like that. Now, there are a couple updates that need to be pushed out for this service to actually work right, and at the time of making this video, they haven't been pushed out yet, like RCS messaging and some issues with the voicemail. So RCS messaging on iPhones doesn't seem to be, updated as of yet, but they said that iPhones or Apple would push out an update to make this basically acceptable. And FYI, it's been a gradual rollout for everyone. So at the end of the day, it's not something that I feel like is exclusive. Like US Mobile is the only company out there that doesn't support RCS messaging on Darkstar. It's a gradual rollout for everyone else. But you know what? I still think it's a good enough service. And I'm not gonna lie, I use iMessage most of the time on, on iPhone. I do like RCS on it as well, but it's not something that's a deal breaker for me, as they are expected to push out an update in March. So how do I feel about the service altogether? Well, you know what? It's a great service that has a lot of capability, but understand that this is definitely a consumer cellular service and it cannot be your home internet service. It is not intended to be that. If you want to use it like a normal consumer and you're just a data beast where you're trying to just use as much data as possible, get really good call quality, and honestly, get service that's close as possible to kind of what the big guys offer at a much cheaper price point of $44, then I think you got a winner. But once again, that's just my thoughts on it. My experience was really great, and at the end of the day, I still think it's really good. But just a reminder, there's an affiliate link in the description. If you do want to check out US Mobile, definitely click the link. It'll help out the channel. But until next time, I'm Everton, and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.